More Social Security blunders. Oh, boy. A wonderful friend in California sent this to me to read from the Tucson, Tucson Star. I'm not sure what the paper is, Tucson.com. And this guy right here used to work for the Social Security Administration. So let's read this. This is Dateline September 15th, just the other day, 2019. Who is this thing down here? It's Tom Marginau, I guess. All right, so let's read what he says. So Tom says, I recently came across a Facebook page dedicated to Social Security Administration retirees. I decided not to join it because one of the tenets was this: never criticize the work being done by current Social Security employees. I really don't, Social Security, okay, so real Social Security Administration retirees, okay, gotcha. I really don't like writing columns that are critical of my former colleagues who work in local field offices or telephone centers, but doggone it, I hear from readers every week who have been misled or misinformed by agency reps. And I would be remiss if I didn't try to set the record straight. Here are a few examples. Question: I will be 66 in October. I continue to work and make about $140 a year. I want to start my Social Security in October. I imagine that'd be one's full retirement age. And you told me I could do it. You even said that you said that even though I make well over $46,920 earnings limit, that limit no longer applies when I turn 66. So I went to my local office to file, and I was told by a nice young man that I'm not due any benefits this year because I make too much money. He told me that I must wait until January 2020 to file, which is what I'm now planning to do. When I asked to see the rules in writing, he told me they cannot share that information, but he assured me that he was right. So I'm sorry, but you are giving out incorrect information, but still, I really wish I could see something in writing. Tom says, well, I'll take your word for the Social Security rep was a nice young man, but sadly, he was not well informed. I mean, can you imagine the idea that you have to, look, you can file whenever the hell you want to file. I mean, that's all there is to it. Whether or not it's going to be earnings limited tested or is different, there won't be, but still, you can file whenever, because you're at full retirement. You can file whenever you want to file. You don't have to wait until January 2020. I mean, just the idea of that is insane. But sadly, this nice young man was misinformed. And I'll show you something in writing that will prove it. All right. And by the way, shame on him for saying you cannot share written information with you. All Social Security rules and regulations are public knowledge. And those rules clearly state that earnings penalties go away the month you turn 66. Beginning October 1st, you can make $1 million per day and you would still be due all your Social Security benefits. I cut and pasted a section from the website of the Social Security Administration that explained the rules and sent it to this reader. And it was too detailed to include this short column, but it contained the following points verbatim. In the year you reach your full retirement age, and this is the year this person reaches full retirement age, we deduct $1 in benefits for every 3 above the earnings limit. In 2019, the limit on your earnings is $46,920, but we only count earnings before the month you reach full retirement age. Beginning the month you reach full retirement age, your earnings no longer reduce your benefits no matter how much you earn. It could not be any more clear than that. I just don't like the idea they're saying file. Question. I got a letter, and I got some people doing landscaping for me. I gave up doing it, man. Once my rotator cuff, it just it took me off my game, and it just so I'm hiring it out. I'm ashamed to say I'm hiring it out, but for the price that I'm paying these guys, it's worth it. So I can do this video instead. It was getting longer and longer and longer for me to do it. Just it was hurting my. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it was starting to hurt. And I said, I can't do it. And the yard was getting bad. So I took it upon my better half to tell me when we hired that out, and I did, and I'm glad I did. All right. I just got a letter from Social Security telling me I was overpaid because I made too much money last year. The letter said they were going to withhold my next several checks until they got all their money back. I immediately called them to explain that the excess money I made last year was accumulated vacation and sick pay I received after I retired. Let me just pause this for a sec. I asked you about this last year at the time I retired. You told me this income wouldn't count against me. Well, the SSA rep told me that was wrong and that I was overpaid and the money would be withheld from future checks. I asked her if I had any recourse and she said no. What can I do about this? Shame on that phone rep. At the very least, she should have offered you the opportunity to file a written appeal of the overpayment decision. She should also check the rule book, or simply she should have looked at the agency's fact sheet called Special Payments After Retirement. It includes this subtitle: Learn how special payments for work done for retirement, such as bonuses, vacation pay, and commissions, do not account towards the Social Security earnings benefit limits. I mean, gosh, you didn't have to read the fact sheet. The answer is right there in the title. What you need to go do is go back in touch with Social Security Administration, make a visit to your local office, tell them you want to file an appeal of the overpayment decision. Bring along any proof that you have that showed the extra money was indeed vacation and sick pay. And I believe Social Security rules say they would not hold any of your upcoming Social Security checks unless they make an appeal on your request. A decision on your appeal request. For the love of me, man. All right. My wife took her Social Security benefits last year when she was 62. I am still working and will be 66 in November. I want to file for spousal benefits on my wife's record and save my own until I'm 70. I read about this strategy in your columns. When I went to the Social Security office to do this, I was told that the file and suspend strategy was no longer available. I'd brought along a copy of your column. He just glanced at it and handed it back to me, saying, I know the law, and this knucklehead columnist obviously doesn't. Is it true? Have the rules changed? The guy you've talked to is wrong, and this knucklehead columnist is right. The SSA clerk is mixing up his filing strategies. It is true that the file and suspend strategy was eliminated a few years ago, but you want to use a file and restrict strategy in the restricted application, which is still around, at least for a couple more months. Here's what the file and restrict strategy means. If you turn 66 before January 2020, you can file for spousal benefits at age 66, and then at 70, switch to your own retirement benefits to include the 32% delayed credits. So march back to your local office and tell the representative you talked to that knucklehead if he still won't believe you, speak to a supervisor. All right, so there you go, man. Lots of misinformation, but remember, I mean, if you 10% of the population on any given group is going to be idiots, and so you've got millions of people going to Social Security, you're bound to find some idiots. But if you find an answer to a question that doesn't seem right, you got to seek other options. And seek a supervisor, man. It's your money, your taxes. This is your money. You have a right to. All right, we'll see you next time.